I hate my first comic. No, I don't. I love Sovereign. Sovereign's amazing. Sovereign is like the best comic ever made. But I do hate Pretty Mouth. Pretty Mouth is my comic from 2012. I wrote it as a learning experience because at the time I was working on Sovereign, which was my very first comic. And I planned to have Sovereign last 1,000 pages. And at the rate we were doing it, that was going to be 10 years. It ended up not being that because we finished it in less time than that. Because I cut it down to half because the idea of working on a comic for 10 years was terrifying at the time. Now it is just kind of par for the course when it comes to my comics. Actually, 10 years is like a small comic commitment, it feels like these days. As I was saying, I started working on Pretty Mouth because I wanted to work on something small. I wanted something with traction because at the time Sovereign was not doing well at all. Sovereign still doesn't do great. I've been re-releasing Sovereign. It gets middling views. It gets very little views, let's be real. I don't post it on Webtoon. I think maybe if I start posting on Webtoon, which I do plan to do eventually, I just need to fix a lot of the very first pages. There's like 50 pages that are just like way too small when we made them, so I'd have to blow them up and I'm having to re-ink all the pages. And that's a lot of work. That's a whole bunch of work. And yeah, I will release it on Webtoon, and maybe it would do great on Webtoon. But at the time of its release, Sovereign was doing terrible. We got no views whatsoever, and it was incredibly disheartening because I loved Sovereign. But Sovereign was definitely just kind of a generic fantasy story. It's like a humorous fantasy story. Not gonna attract a lot of eyes. But you know what would attract a lot of eyes? BL. BL would attract a lot of eyes. So I was like, let's make a really short BL comic. Let's see how that goes. Let's hope. Let's hope and pray this does great. And it did do great. It did amazing every time I repost it. I've been reposting it in color now. It's fresh for everyone to see and enjoy. People still love it, but I hate it. I just don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It is annoying to me. One of the most frustrating parts about Pretty Mouth too is that I moved on from Pretty Mouth into The Magpie, which is like a comic that is a prequel to Pretty Mouth. It's a GL, not a BL. Big mistake. And it is a lot more in depth. It is a lot more lore. It's just better. It's just the better version of Pretty Mouth. It has all of the same mystery, intrigue, whatever, but it lacks a lot that Pretty Mouth has, and it doesn't attract, and most importantly, it didn't attract people into reading it. It took a long time for people to start reading Magpie, and since releasing it and re-releasing it, it's lost a lot of engagement, and that's hard to hear, especially when Pretty Mouth re-releasing it, it's doing amazing, because of course it is, because it's Pretty Mouth, and Pretty Mouth always does great, and that's why I hate it. Pretty Mouth is just a successful child that I don't like. It is a BL comic, which automatically kind of gets a boost in the algo, and it is weird. I love how weird it is. Like, what do I love about Pretty Mouth? I love that it's weird. I love that it's strange, and I love that I had the guts to make the worst main character in existence, Evan Raspberry. I think his last name's Raspberry, okay? I have really weird last names. Like, I used to name characters so weird. Like, the whole Rizzo being like Risotto is crazy too, in Pretty Mouth or whatever. But yeah, I'm really happy that Evan is a horrific main character. He is so awful, and when I was writing Pretty Mouth, I was kind of annoyed with the fact that I had to make a BL. I think Pretty Mouth is an anti-BL. It was a lot of tropes I didn't like about BL. I didn't like that there's like the meek, like femme character who gets into like a weird relationship with the abusive, like tough character, but we never discuss the abuse. So Pretty Mouth has a lot to do with like abuse. Like, that is definitely a major theme of it. And Evan is totally abusive and awful, and nasty, and I love him for that. I love that it spins it on its head. It was also kind of a play on Twilight, because I love Twilight in an ironic way that's gone like a full loop around, and is kind of a play on that, where like it's just switching the roles, I guess, where the monster guy is not the weird abusive creep. He's just a weirdo, but like he's a sweet weirdo. I don't really know. It's hard to like piece it together in my head because I haven't written it a long time. And like what I don't like about Pretty Mouth is honestly it's just so rushed. Okay? It's incredibly freaking rushed. And I hate that. I hate how much it got rushed, because like I didn't know how to write the middle of a story at the time when I was writing Pretty Mouth. And like, yeah, like we're getting to the point in the re-release where it's gonna start like going into hyperdrive, being rushed. And like, I do like, and people do comment on the fact that they like that it doesn't hold your hand. I find webtoons very much are very hand-holdy these days. They kind of sigh. We sigh to ourselves and we're like, I guess the readers aren't going to reread anything, so let's just reiterate things over and over again. And Pretty Mouth doesn't do that. Pretty Mouth is gung-ho. It expects you to just pay attention and do so deeply. And if you pay attention to Pretty Mouth and really focus and try and put things together, you can put the story together. I will say that. But it just goes too fast. It goes too fast, and I don't like what I did with the ending. I wish the ending was more fleshed out. I don't want the ending to be happy by any means. I'm happy that it is a miserable, depressing story. I'm sorry to people who go into stories with hopes and dreams, but I crush them in Pretty Mouth, and I am proud of that. But I just don't like the execution. That's really all of it is. And honestly, the real reason I hate Pretty Mouth is that it's popular. I hate that it got popular. I hate that it's got popular and I couldn't capitalize on it. I'm finally gonna do it again. This is all me leading up to saying like I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do another BL, because like this is here's the trick. If you want to make comics that people read, just make them into a BL. Give up on making GL. No, you don't have to give up on making a GL, but like, oh my god, I talk about this with my friends who also do like a lot of queer content and also dread the fact that they like, I have a friend who did a series that was on all different aspects of like LGBT, and they were just dreading the BL book because they knew it'd be the most popular one and they hated that. And it's so real. I don't know what it is. It's just frustrating. And like, you can't just change audiences to just like GL. Like, I get it, but it is frustrating. And that's why for Crow Story, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing that I did with Pretty Mouth, where I'm gonna be like, oh, it's a BL, and then I'm just gonna go off the rails. And I think that's a legitimate strategy. I think that's gonna be cool. I think that's gonna work for me. And I think I'm gonna make it work, because honestly, like, let's be real, Crow Story is not a BL. It has two gay guys in it, and they're the main characters, but there's also like 30 other main characters, because this book is insane. And I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote this thing, but I am thinking in the marketing that I need to like push the BL first so that I can get readers and trick them into reading it, much like Pretty Mouth. Like, Pretty Mouth was successful in tricking people into reading it, and I hate it for that. And I don't know why I'm talking about this today. Honestly, it's because my face hurt. My face hurts so bad. I don't know what happened. I just didn't really want to record a video today, so I decided to talk about my most passionate thing that I talk about, which is Pretty Mouth, my worst comic. And yeah, my face hurts so bad, guys. I'm just gonna leave. Thank you for watching this. I don't know why you did, but you are loved. Please like the video and let me rest. Okay, goodbye. What is this?